Welcome back, everybody, to this week's high school football playoff report. George Watson with the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal and LoneStarVarsity.com here with you to break down the area round and look ahead to the regional semifinals for some, regional finals for some others. But looking back at this week, it was a big week for a lot of area teams, none bigger than the Friendship Tigers going on the road all the way to Pecos. First time I ever made that drive, and trust me, I don't know if I ever want to do it again. That's a big, long drive and a big, lonely drive. But the Friendship Tigers get down there to Pecos and get them a big win, take care of a Canattia team that, quite honestly, I wasn't sure about. They'd put up some big numbers and had some talent out there, but without star running back John De La Rosa, who was out with a broken collarbone, he suffered the week before against El Paso Andrés. Canattia was just no match for Friendship. They go out and get touchdown after touchdown, build a big lead, and this thing is basically over at halftime. Friendship gets the big win, moves on to the regional semifinals this week in Class 4A Division I. Another game, the big game of the week out here on the South Plains last week was Muleshoe and Littlefield. Two undefeated teams. Muleshoe, the number 4 team in the state at 11-0. Littlefield comes in at 11-0, the District 3-2A champion. But this time it was all Muleshoe. Littlefield had won the past 2 playoff meetings between these two teams. This time Muleshoe had the upper hand. Just too much talent, too much speed. I was really impressed for a 2A school how much speed and physical ability that Muleshoe had. They were able to just find Littlefield wherever they were, and they were actually more physical than Littlefield, which is a surprise. Not too many teams are more physical than Littlefield, but the Muleshoes were able to do that and then hit some big plays in the passing game. Westwood is just outstanding, but they've got a lot more other weapons. Lane Wood, and Ray Ramirez, Victor Vasquez catching the ball. They are a well-rounded team. They get the 28-10 victory. A little bit on Saturday, Idalou, the Wildcats, ever since that loss to Littlefield, they've been playing well and really rolling now. They get them a 47-6 win over Friona. Friona just overmatched with Idalou. Idalou really showing a lot of versatility, I think, right now. The week before against Alpine, Sean Reagan threw for over 300 yards. This week they were able to run for about 300 yards against Friona. So that balance, I know, Coach Taylor says all the time that we kind of chide everybody and everything that, all Idalou does is run, and that we kind of help out the scouts in Idalou's favor. But the Idalou Wildcats are really showing a lot of balance. Sean Reagan throwing the ball well. Tanner Cook, Ryan Martinez running the ball really well. Idalou looks to keep rolling this week. The big surprise this week, again, can you say enough about what those Roosevelt Eagles are doing out there under first-year coach Greg Pointer? He's got them believing. He's got them playing outstanding football right now. They finished 3rd in that district, but I think this just goes to show how tough that district is. Now they are 3 rounds deep in the playoffs for the first time in school history. First time they've ever won consecutive playoff victories in a season. And, they've basically tripled their entire playoff victory total since 1971. They get a big 21-20 victory over a tough Childress team. Roosevelt goes down, drives the ball down late, gets a score late in the game, and then the defense holds off Childress from there, picks up the big win. Greg Pointer, in my mind, is a very viable candidate for our Coach of the Year, but we'll have more on that later as the season goes. Also moving down in class in 1A, a little bit of a surprise. I was surprised that New Deal lost to Ira Ann, 37-7. Ira Ann is a tough team, and they're a very good team, but I wasn't really impressed with the way they beat Seagraves. I thought they kept Seagraves in the game. I thought New Deal would go and handle Ira Ann down in Andrews, but it was the other way around. The Braves came out and took care of business and really halted the New Deal running game. Very surprised with that 37-7 victory. Also, a little bit of a surprise, I was surprised that Morton and their talent, fell to Stanton 35-21, with Morton's 2-pronged attack with Enriquez and with Cornish. I thought they would have the offensive ability to overcome Stanton, but credit the Buffaloes. They did a good job holding that offense in check and got the 35-21 win. Also, another matchup between 2 area teams, Sundown and Rawls. Ever since Sundown lost those 2 games early in the season, we're 1-2. They've been on a real roll right now. They're healthy. They're playing well. Heffley's running the ball well. Jason Durham is throwing the ball extremely well. But they're also playing great defense for this time of the year, which is what you got to have in the playoffs. They get a 28-0 victory over Rawls and now advance into the regional semifinal round. When we come back, we will run down this week's games and take a look at this week's playoff matches right here on LoneStarVarsity.com.